So I reviewed all the Spider-Man movies when the Spider-Verse came out. I didn't do a really good job, so I want to review them all, at least all the live-action ones. Next year, I'll re-review the Spider-Verse movies. I also want to review some more animated stuff with Spider-Man, but we'll do that at some point. Let's start with Spider-Man. Of course, we're gonna do them in order. So we're doing the Tobey movies, and I didn't actually grow up with the two Tobey movies. The thing is I grew up with the Amazing Spider-Man movies because I was born in 2003, and for whatever reason in my house we did not have the Tobey movies. And I think maybe I think my grandparents had the Spider-Man 3 DVD. I think I remember having the Burger King Venom toy, or Black Suit Spider-Man toy. And I think I remember them watching that movie on TV. What happened was eventually I found Spider-Man 2 for $5 at Target, and I had the DVD of Spider-Man 3 that I got from a family member or something like that. I forget. I had it for free, so I just kind of watched it, and then I later bought the Blu-ray of them. So these are movies that I've not, I guess I've seen them over and over again, but they're kind of a weird thing in my mind. So I'm curious to rewatch the Amazing Spider-Man movies because I know they're not good movies and I don't really like them from last memory. But there might be a part of me that does rewatch them with nostalgia and maybe some fondness now. Where these movies, I don't really have that, even though I probably should have, because I grew up in 2003, so these movies would have been fresh around the time I was growing up, and I should have been able to watch these, but for whatever reason, these movies were not shown a lot in my house. And I don't know. Should ask my parents, hey, my dad at least, hey, why didn't we watch these more? Same thing with Indiana Jones. I didn't see it, though Indiana Jones wasn't coming around at the time, but he never showed me those as a kid, and then I finally watched them as an adult, and I love them so. Anyways, this movie's great. Obviously, you don't need me to say that. This is a pure Sam Raimi movie in a lot of ways. It has his signature style to it, where he's got the horror, creepy elements. He's got his goofy tone in there, and it works so well with this comic booky nature. Because the thing is, I think people don't realize, people associate with Sam Raimi so much with horror. That is one of his loves. You can tell the dude loves comic books. He created his own comic book character, Darkman, which I believe was because he couldn't get the rights to do a Batman movie or something like that. I can't remember. Or maybe it was the Shadow. I can't remember what character he wanted to do, but it was something like that. And then you got, he's talked about wanting to do a Fantastic Four movie, I think, and other projects and superhero related. This is a guy who just loves doing superheroes, but he loves doing them in his own style. And you feel that in this movie. But I also feel like this tone also works because there's a pureness to this movie, an innocence. And a lot of that is Peter Parker in this movie, of course. But just the message of, with great power comes great responsibility. And, this pure sweetness of Kirsten Dunst and, Tobey's relationship as Mary Jane and Peter in this movie just works so well. Of course, you got to talk about J. Jonah Jameson is hilarious in this movie. Just great. It is not slender as spoke. That's great. That line is just great. So many great lines. William Dafoe is amazing in this movie. His outfit is a little ridiculous, but honestly, it's fine. It's goofy, yeah. You could see that they had practical effects they were working with, but I think they were hey, it's too controlling over William Dafoe's face. And William Dafoe's face is creepier than him with the mask, which is kind of crazy. But William Dafoe, he's amazing. He is one of the all-time greatest actors, and does not get credit for that, despite being in one of the most popular movies ever made. It's goddamn Spider-Man. Danny Elfman's score is amazing. Of course, it's just man, I just also this is just a great origin movie. I just kind of like sat there, and I was just sucked in from minute one, and I hadn't seen these movies since Across the Spider Verse came out, which was that's like almost 4 years ago now. So I just kind of was like, oh shit, that's right, this movie is really fucking good. So, you know, let me know your thoughts. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.